Momma Cuisine is about making great everyday meals with simple ingredients and basic cooking techniques, and I want to show you how. Now tell me that this doesn't look like a meal you would find in a restaurant. This show also highlights restaurants, foodies, artisans, and events to help me in my quest in making great everyday meals. So come join me. I'm Johanna Cook of Momma Cuisine. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Momma Cuisine. I am Johanna Cook. Today I'm going to make a very simple, fresh pasta made with a Midwest favorite, corn. Fresh corn is abundant all throughout the Midwest, and it's sweet and delicious. I'm going to pair it with some frozen peas, a little pasta, a little bit of olive oil, butter, and cherry tomatoes, and you'll see just how delicious this meal will be with simple ingredients. So this recipe, I made this last year. I was looking through my fridge and there was really nothing in there, and the kids were hungry. I had nothing but fresh corn, some frozen peas, and some pasta. So I whipped this up and it turned out to be a great hit. So I want to share it with you guys. What I have here, which is already boiling and has finished cooking, is some curly pasta called Mafalda pasta. And I just figured out it might mean, I don't know, you guys can email me or tweet me, it might mean that it looks like a skirt, but the original recipe I used campanelli noodles, which looks very, very similar. If you don't have this kind of pasta, any shortcut pasta will do, even macaroni or any mini fusilli noodles will do great. So I have that already boiling and it's already finished. We just need to heat up a pan now. We're going to add about a tablespoon and a half of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of butter, and just let that get warm. And we'll add the rest of the ingredients. We are gonna chop an onion. Let's take the ends off. We're probably gonna use just half of this. We're not gonna need the whole onion here. We're just gonna dice this up. Put this aside. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to dice this really easily. Okay, cut it horizontally very carefully. And while you're slicing this way, don't slice it all the way to the end. Leave the little nub, and that way your onions don't go flying everywhere. And it still stays mostly intact. So how you find fresh garlic at the store is that you have to make sure that the bulb is intact. If you see that the bulb is opening up and they're not intact, then it's not fresh. It's been there for longer than it should be. So always find the garlic bulbs that are together. And the tighter it is, the fresher your garlic is. Rock your knife through to chop it into finer pieces. And now we're going to saute this in our hot pan and let that work together while we get the rest of the ingredients ready. This is about medium heat. Turn this up a little and just saute it gently so that you get all the sugars out of the onions. Again, we're doing a play on the sweetness, the corn, and the peas, and sauteing our onions and garlic gently together. So I have my 2 ears of corn. I think this makes about a cup. The recipe calls for 2 cups of fresh corn. So I'm gonna use 2 ears. That's guesstimating about 2 cups, and I'm going to show you how to take it off the cob very easily. So you first need a big mixing bowl. So we have that here, and then get a smaller bowl, maybe a cereal bowl. This looks like a dipping bowl, and turn it upside down in your mixing bowl, just like that. So you're going to take your ear of corn and just place it on top of that little bowl that's in your mixing bowl, and you just slowly start to take the kernels off the cob. And that way your kernels aren't splashing all over the place, flying all over the countertop. It will a little bit, but not as much as if you had it on the flat surface. And there you go, your corn. Now that the onions have been sauteing and they've softened and you can smell the aroma throughout the house, we're gonna add 2 cups of our cherry tomatoes. I just diced them in half, or sliced them in half, and we're gonna put them here. And this is going to turn into a little bit of a chunky sauce. turn the heat up if you need to and just work this in for a few minutes until the tomatoes start to break down. And look at that pretty red, bright red color. In the summertime, heirloom tomatoes are in season, so definitely use that. I just love the cherry tomatoes for the presentation. After about 2 to 3 minutes, you'll see the tomatoes start to break down and make into this chunky sauce-like mixture here. And that's the right consistency, perfect consistency right now. At this point, we're going to add our fresh corn. Add this all in. Make sure the heat is on high right now. And we're going to work that in, and look, oh, look how delicious that looks right now. I could eat this just like this. Okay, turn the heat up to high. Let those flavors get together. We're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of salt at this point. We could add more later. Just a pinch of pepper. And toss this. So you know when your corn is ready and heated through because it actually becomes a brighter yellow than when you originally put it in. And you can see that here, that it's a brighter yellow kernel than it was at first. And it's warm and it's yummy and it's ready for pasta. So let's go ahead and add our Mafalda pasta. Such a fun name. Put that in, toss it around. Oh, that is yummy. Yum. Let's go ahead and add 1/2 cup of half and half. I'm just going to eyeball it. I say 1/2 cup to about 3/4. Okay, maybe that was 3/4. So add that in and slowly start to work that in. At the same time, I'm going to grab 1/2 cup of our peas, 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan. Of course, add more if you'd like more, and just toss it in gently. Lower the heat to about medium, that way your half and half doesn't burn. All this food with just 1/2 pound of pasta, a couple ears of corn, a little bit of peas, and look how delicious. And here you go, such a simple dish you could make with such inexpensive ingredients at home. Creamy corn pasta. Hope you try it at home. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Momma Cuisine. If you want any more recipes, please visit mommacuisine.com and do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.